We are Scout, Teddy, Matt, and Michelle. While towing our little house behind us, we explore the diverse beauty and culture of the United States. So please come join us and...
Then we cross America.
Hi.
Welcome to our 2019 favorites video. I think a lot of times we say, oh, I can't believe the year is over, but I can believe the year is over this time. I don't know why. It wasn't a particularly rough year.
It wasn't even particularly busy.
No, I can just believe it's over.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's because we've had some stuff going on in our life where we've been wanting the time to pass because we've needed it to pass for things to happen. And so we've been aware of the passing time more, maybe.
Yeah.
That might be it. But anyways, 2019 is over. We are filming this at home. I feel like we hardly ever film at home anymore. We had planned on filming this on our trip to the Grand Canyon, but it just didn't happen. So we're here, filming. Hi, Scouty. This was my favorite of the whole year. She's my favorite of every year. And you and Teddy.
Poor Teddy.
Why poor Teddy?
But he's the third favorite.
Oh, well, just because he's not in frame right now. if he was the only one here and I wasn't talking to you and Scouty, he'd be my first favorite.
Shifting favorites over here.
You guys are a lump favorite. The three of you together is my family
she
favorite.
Just called me a lump.
Let's get into this list of travel favorites for 2019 before I get in trouble.
Sure, change the subject. First category is our favorite day.
Favorite day. You know, I haven't thought about these. Do you want to go first? Do you have a day?
Oh no, you're going first.
It's hard this year because this was like just a year. Nothing particularly like big, monumental happened in 2019. In 2018 that was easy. It was our wedding day. Let's see. My favorite day. I really actually liked that day in Point Reyes. Either the day before or the day of our anniversary. I think it was the day before our anniversary. It was just a really lazy day. We got up kind of late. We drove into Point Reyes. We stopped at the Cypress Tree Tunnel. Is that what's called?
Yeah.
And just found a mystery museum.
Yeah.
Like that it wasn't a mystery museum. It was just like
There was a radio broadcasting museum that
wasn't on the map and didn't have any
really knows
signage.
about. Yeah.
No signs, not on the map, nothing. But we were just kind of peeking our head into like this abandoned building, and we were just kind of like peeking our like into the window of this abandoned building, and a guy walks out, and he's like, "Oh hi, you want to come in our museum?"
It was very strange.
Honestly, if he hadn't been wearing like a National Parks uniform, I would have said no, because I would have thought he was actually like some axe murderer.
Yes.
Bringing us into his abandoned building to kill us.
Yeah, it was.
But apparently, a National Parks uniform is trustworthy to us. Yeah, so we went in and it was pretty cool, and then we just went to the beach. I did get sandblasted in the face by the beach. That wasn't the best part of the day.
But we did lay on the beach in October, which was pretty nice. Like, it wasn't too cold or anything.
Yeah, so I think that might have been my favorite day. It was a very simple, relaxed day, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
We have done it a couple times. So my favorite day is a day that we spent, we took the ferry into San Francisco. And was that the day that we went to the Maritime Museum? Or was that a different day?
Did we take the ferry in twice this year? Because we definitely did take the ferry in and go to the Maritime Museum.
I think it was the same day. It was the same day. We walked to the Maritime Museum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite day. Next up, our favorite food.
This was a rough year for that. We decided to read a book that redefined our eating habits this year, which means that we try really hard to eat vegan now.
I'll go first.
Do you want to go first? What was your favorite food?
You made an amazing chocolate cake.
Oh, that was pretty good.
It stole the show. We had 2 or 3 different non-vegans ask us for the recipe, and it was
We had a not chocolate cake eater ask.
Yeah, we had somebody who gets migraines from chocolate ask for the recipe for this chocolate cake. That's how good it was.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really funny. I honestly just looked online for vegan chocolate cake, and the first recipe, Scotty. The first recipe was like best ever vegan chocolate cake, and I was like, yeah, right. No, it was.
It was.
It was. if I can find that recipe, I will link it down in the comments or in the description, because it is not my recipe, but it was pretty darn good. It
And one of the best chocolate cakes I've ever had.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think my favorite food might have been, we found this restaurant in Berkeley. Neither one of these are on trips. We found this restaurant in Berkeley called The Butcher's Son.
The Butcher's Son, yeah.
And he had some, like, deep fried item, called something fishy. And it was a lot like a fish stick, but it was vegan. So this is a vegan restaurant. And it was really good. In fact, we didn't even eat any there because we were full. We brought it home, and it was really good reheated in the oven.
Yeah.
Okay, we put the dogs in bed because they are grumpy.
Yep.
And we need the window open for the light.
And our next category is...
Our favorite campground. Where did we even camp this year? My favorite campground, I believe, was Mount Madonna State Park, which we've been to a few times and we really like it there. It's like your quintessential camping experience. There's nothing flashy or big or exciting or particularly special about it. It's just your traditional camping experience.
Well, it is in a redwood grove.
Yeah,
so
it's beautiful.
It's in a coast redwood forest, so it's shaded from the sun, protected from the wind. It's a pretty comfortable place to be.
I also like just the people who camp there seem to have some kind of camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's like when you walk through the campground right around dinner time, maybe right after dinner, it feels like walking through like an old neighborhood from the mid-century. Just because people are out and they're talking to their neighbors and their kids are riding bikes in the street, and just I like the traditional camaraderie that seems to happen there.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go with Trailer Village, believe it or not, in the Grand Canyon National Park.
Oh, okay. Just because it's proximity?
Mostly because it's proximity and because it has hookups, and the way that it and the other campgrounds in that national park are incorporated in. Like, we didn't take advantage of the shuttle system because it was very, very cold when we were there. I mean, very, very cold when we were there. Our RV, 1 degree Fahrenheit was the low one evening, and it froze all the water in our RV. So we were bundled up, and we were fortunate enough to be able to do what we needed to do driving. But if we were there at a more,
balmy time of year.
yeah, at a more palatable climate, I would say that it would be really easy to park and take the shuttles all around.
Yeah, or bike. We had our bikes
Or
with us,
bike.
and there's biking trails everywhere. There's a bike trail right out of the campground to the rim of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, you're very close to everything.
It was
is
covered
right
in snow, but
in it.
it was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Do you want to move them?
Yeah, I'm gonna put them in the back room. What's next?
Next up is our favorite place.
Do you have yours?
No. Do you have yours?
I think it might have been Tuolumne Meadows.
Mm.
Tuolumne Meadows at Yosemite was beautiful. All of Yosemite was actually gorgeous.
Yes. Yeah. And I know that's the reason that it's one of the most popular parks. So mine is kind of jumping off of yours. Mine is a totally different national park, very much like Yosemite, and totally underrated, and that's Kings Canyon National Park.
We can't wait to get back there.
Yeah, Michelle was not having a great day. I think your stomach was bothering you?
Yeah, I had a stomach ache.
Yeah.
It's a windy road down into the park, and I was having some nausea problems.
Yeah.
But I would deal with that nausea again and towing the trailer if it meant that we were going to spend like
A couple of days.
like 3 days down there.
So it's a very different park in that there are very few people, but it's absolutely grand. I mean, it's an amazing canyon. It's very much like Yosemite in a lot of regards. You're very much in I guess I would say a valley, but I guess technically it's a canyon as far as as far as geologists are concerned. But really incredible and very close. Like, it's not really much further than Yosemite from us.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to Sequoia, it shouldn't be missed.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're day tripping into Sequoia from Southern California, it's going to be harder to get
Yes.
there. But if you're traveling to spend some time in the California's Sierra Nevada National Parks, this is not one to skip.
Right. It may seem like it's pretty remote, but it's very much worth it.
We took a day trip and went down into the canyon.
Yep.
And you can drive down into the canyon. It's not like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And you definitely should hit it because it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is our favorite national park site.
Well, I want to take backsies.
Oh, because you just did Kings Canyon.
I'll go with
What
Grand
did you-
Canyon.
I did Yosemite, but what was the last one?
Place.
Our favorite place, and we both picked national parks. Wait, did I pick? What did I pick? I picked
Yeah,
Yosemite.
Yeah.
You'll pick Grand Canyon?
I'll pick Grand Canyon.
Do you have anything else to say about that, or that's just your favorite?
It's a really big hole.
It's a really big hole.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's a beautiful.
It's awe-inspiring, and I know that people say that about lots of things, but you know, when I was walking up to the canyon for my first time, we went to Mather Point, which is a fairly popular place to see it, and there's a set of stairs that you walk down to get to the viewing platform, and it was this strange feeling because the canyon was laid out in front of me. And as I was walking down the stairs, my mind or my body or whatever was just like, no, you don't. I'm not normally afraid of heights, really, but it was just overwhelming.
Stepping down into where there's no ground in front
Yeah,
of you.
when there's no ground in front of you, exactly.
My favorite national park might have been Wupatki.
Wow.
Wupatki National Park or National Monument. It was just so we were planning on stopping at 5 National Park Service sites that were national monuments after the Grand Canyon, and the dogs are having a fight out back, and I don't care. We're gonna let them do that. And I hadn't done any research for any of them. I'd been to Montezuma's Castle before. I knew what to expect, but the other ones, I had honestly no idea what any of them were. And the way Wupatki is laid out is, as you drive in, you can stop at a couple little Pueblo ruins, and that's kind of cool and fun. And they were covered in snow. And then you get to the visitor center, and you're like, okay. And then they're like, oh, we've got another Pueblo out back. You can just go out and look at it. So I was like, well, okay. And you can't see it from the parking lot. It's out behind the visitor center, and they've arranged things in a way that you don't know what you're going to see before you see it. Like, I went out the back door and we kind of looped around a little bit, and then all of a sudden this huge like Pueblo mansion like is there.
Yeah, I mean it's really like a small town.
It's like 4 stories tall, and it's kind of sprawling.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. I was like, whoa. And I think the surprise and shock of it was like, holy cow. So that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that national.
Yeah, that was impressive. Next up, your favorite experience.
Yoga in Yosemite. I took a yoga class in the Yosemite Valley.
My favorite experience was the jumping frog contest of Calaveras County.
That was great.
I think that's what it's called.
I'll have to find that clip and include it of the little frog doing his little jump.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun, that trip.
Yeah. That was on our trip to the California foothills. Basically, we called it the Gold Rush road trip.
Yeah, our Gold Country road trip where we went all along Highway 49. That is season 1 of Then We Cross America, if you want to go back and watch that season from last summer.
Yeah. So next up is our favorite magnet.
Yeah, we collect magnets from our trips, and they go on our RV refrigerator. And every year we kind of have a favorite that we picked up that year. Do you have your favorite? Because I don't have a favorite.
My favorite was actually from the same trip, from season 1. We took that foothills trip, and we got a magnet that was basically for the entire Gold Country. It was all the major towns in the Gold Country on one magnet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a favorite. I have a thing that we did with our magnets here at this
We're
last
going to talk about
trip.
our collection.
Yes, we decided kind of, Scotty, we're trying to record. So I didn't have like a specific magnet, but here in our last trip, we realized that we were starting to collect a lot of, that traditional sized square one. And so we just kind of tried to get more of those on this trip. I think we got 5 or 6 on one trip.
Yeah.
And so between the ones we already had and then the ones we picked up, we're starting to like make a wallpaper on the top of our refrigerator door, which is kind of fun. I was all dressed in work clothes, and you're making a mess. All right, what was next?
Next up is our favorite toy or item.
Okay. I feel like we have a lot of stuff this year that we could pick. I think it might be our impulse buy of snowshoes at Costco. We impulse bought some snowshoes. We had talked about maybe trying snowshoeing. So we tried to go to Yosemite back in last February. It didn't work. We got snowed in at the campground. This is kind of a theme of 2019.
We didn't even make it to the valley. We stayed outside of the valley and didn't make it in.
But we had impulse bought these snowshoes at Costco a couple weeks before. And so we used them and they were fun.
Yeah. Bless you.
Sorry, Scouty. Alright, do you have a favorite toy or item that we either acquired or used a lot in 2019?
We didn't acquire it in 2019, but we used it a lot.
That's why I said acquired.
Our propane fire pit.
Oh yeah, we did. We got that for the wedding.
We have an Outland fire bowl. We got it for the wedding, which was just the end of 2018.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like it was last year, but it was the year before.
Yeah. But we took that with us to our failed trip to Yosemite. We didn't take it on our most recent trip to Grand Canyon. Honestly, even with a fire pit, I don't know if it would have been warm enough to sit outside for a lot of it.
Yeah.
Although it did get warmer in the days. But it's been really nice having that.
Yeah, it makes things... We thought we weren't really going to use it. We were kind of bummed we had to buy it because they had a burn ban at the wedding.
Yeah, we have a solo stove, which we use for wood burning, which we also recommend. But there are times when it's really convenient to just light a propane fire pit and not have to worry about getting wood started, or it's much quicker.
We've used it more than I expected we would.
Yeah, me too.
And then our last favorite for 2019?
Our last favorite of 2019, what you learned. What's the favorite thing you learned?
I feel like we learned a lot this year. This was kind of the year of failed trips. We started the year with an attempt to go to Channel Islands. The boats got canceled because the waves were too rough. We tried to go to Yosemite. We got snowed in. We did our Highway 49. It rained the whole time. We did the Grand Canyon, but we're snowed in. Like, this was like a lot of just...
Yeah, we're in kind of a unique position since we don't have children. We're not really bound by when kids' vacations are, and so we tried to take advantage of that.
But it means that the weather is an issue.
Yeah, it means that we're traveling at non-conventional times, and we're trying to travel in the off seasons so that things aren't as busy as they are otherwise. But it means that the weather's an issue.
Yeah, and so this is kind of the year of like failed trips. And on paper, it sounds like we had a really bad year travel-wise.
Yeah.
But we actually had a really great time.
Yeah, being snowed in Yosemite was actually a lot of fun. We're from the Bay Area, so we never get snow. We've never been snowed in our life.
Yeah.
We've never had a snow day. None of that stuff. So people in the Midwest, I'm sorry for you, but at the same time...
It's a novelty for us.
Yeah, it's a novelty for us.
And so basically... Oh, it was also our first full year of marriage.
Yeah.
And so I think that like all of these things together, I just kind of learned to chill out.
Yeah.
Just take things as they come and enjoy what's going on, even if it's not what you had planned. And I like my plans.
Right.
And I get a little frustrated when they don't go the way I wanted them to go. Mm-hmm. But this is just the year of like, that's fine. That's okay. Just enjoy what you're experiencing now. It's not the end of the world just because it wasn't what you had envisioned.
Yep.
I think that's what I learned this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have something else, or?
My favorite thing that I learned is kind of less holistic, I guess you could say. On our most recent trip, we listened to a ranger talk that Michelle found incredibly boring and I found incredibly interesting. It was about how the Grand Canyon formed. And if you go back and listen to, I think our podcast, or maybe it was in our vlog, from this most recent season.
Those episodes won't be coming out for a while. So
Yeah.
continue to watch videos, continue to listen to our podcast.
Coming soon on Them
Next
Across
week
America.
is episode 1.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about is maybe
In the
5
future.
weeks away.
In the future. Yeah, so it was really interesting to have an understanding of how the Grand Canyon formed, because it was not at all how I expected, and not at all probably how you expect.
Yeah. So we're actually having a little bit of audio problems with footage from that trip. Hopefully, by the time we get to that episode, all of your explanation is still there.
Hopefully.
But so yeah, you learned about how the Grand Canyon was formed, and I think we're both learning slowly that we should get to more ranger programs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it for today.
Overall, 2019 in the books.
It was a pretty good year.
Pretty good year.
We have some big plans for 2020, both on a personal scale and on a travel scale. So stay tuned, subscribe, and you'll come along with us on those journeys as they unfold.
Bye-bye.
See you guys next week. Bye.